Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi, and this is Italian Spotlight. Joining me today is Federica Fiorotto, who is marketing manager for Lina's Italian Market in Calgary. Thank you, Federica, for joining us today.
Thank you.
And let's talk a little bit about Lina's history. 28 years, am I right on that? It's been in business in Calgary?
Yeah, you're 100% right. So Lina started, in 1993. And it was this like tiny little deli shop on Center Street. It was like a very, very small and very affordable place that Lina Castle opened. And it was, that typical the typical place where you go get your like deli meats and, the typical like meatballs, like small things, like munching things.
Yeah.
And it was successful. It was something that Calgary didn't see for a while, actually probably never existed in Calgary. And the success brought her to open a bigger store on the other side of the street, because now Linas is on Center Street on the east side. The first one was on the west side.
Yeah.
And she opened a small grocery store because the demand of like imported products were huge. And she opened a cafe, a grocery, a bigger deli. Now our deli is actually pretty big. So she could increase her selection, and it became this kind of destination, where you used to go for those specialty items, that special experience.
Mm-hmm.
And it kept on going until 2020, when during the pandemic, which was actually crazy, we managed to open our second location in Mackenzie Town on 130th Avenue Southeast. And that's called Linas Italian Supermercato because it's huge. It's a very big store. It's an actual supermarket. And it's beautiful. Like the look of the store, the flair is just super beautiful. And then we just decided not to stop. And in 2021, actually 1 year ago, we're about to celebrate the first anniversary.
Yeah.
We opened Linas Italian Mercato on Elbow Drive, which is our third location. And that's more of a restaurant, more of a cafe, a market. It's less than a supermarket, but it's more of a market. You can find more pastries, more freshly made items. And yeah, so we're 3 stores now.
Well, you know what's interesting to me is that over the years, and I go back in time like 20 plus years ago, is a lot of people, a lot of my friends who are non-Italian discovered Linas, right? So Linas had a major role over the years in introducing, say, non-Italians to the Italian culture and food, right?
Exactly. And also like the real Italian food, she got so offended if someone was like, oh no, this is not Italian. She's like, no, this is Italian. You just have to learn how to eat. And that's how Italian actually face everything. Like you have to learn our food culture. But yeah, and honestly, Linas is still like, now she's at the Elbow Drive location. She's always like browsing around. She's always trying to make everything better. So it's great, and we see customers that you're probably talking about. We see the new generations. We hear like, oh yeah, my mom used to bring me here, or my grandma used to bring me here, and now I'm taking my daughter here. So it's something amazing, because creating memories for generation to generations it's probably something that not everyone can be proud of doing.
All right, super. Let's talk a little bit about the Tavala Calda, which is a hot food table, really, in the locations. And just as a personal aside, I know I visit that the one on Center Street quite often because a friend of mine works in the neighborhood and likes to have lunches there, business lunches. But tell me a little bit about the Tavala Calda and what you guys do there.
Of course. Our Tavala Calda, it translates to hot food table. And it was Lina's invention. That's what started to bring people in 1993 and on. It's legit like a steam table that is always refreshed with new items. It's very affordable, it's traditional, and it follows two key ingredients, which are simplicity and quality, which is what Italian food is based on. And going through the years, things change, life is getting more and more expensive, and we want to keep on bringing affordable food. Like our lasagnas are a pretty big portion,
Yeah.
and it's $11. We have meatballs, we have sausages, we have vegetables. You can pick like starch, so carbs, protein, vegetables. You can pick whatever you want for a meal that is going to cost you less than $15. You have pastas of the day, you have pizzas, pizza slices, and everything we're trying to do is very, very authentic. So earthy, rustic food that it's not fancy, but it's something that makes you feel good. It's hearty. It's something that you want to take home after a long day.
And of course, there's the espresso there and the cappuccino and gelato too, right?
Absolutely. And every Linas location has all these features. So at every Linas store, you can find the Tavala Calda, you can find the cappuccino bar with Italian espresso machines. You can find the ice cream bar. We have gelato at all three locations. And, butchery, deli, bakery. Center Street is amazing because when you come in at 9 a.m., you can smell those buns and those loaves that just got out of the oven. So it's the whole experience that changes everything at the end. It's not just going for groceries and not just going for a coffee. Is we say it's like traveling. We spent 3 years now stuck. We couldn't move, we couldn't travel, we couldn't do anything. And what we wanted to do is giving that, getting out of reality sensation to our customers. The decorations of our stores, the way that the aisles are set up, the people that work there, you can hear so many different accents, and not just like Italians, like from all over Europe. So it's a very multicultural and amazing environment.
Yeah. And what's it in store for the future? Are any plans to open up more stores?
Well, no one ever wants to stop, I guess. Right now we're selling. We open 2 great stores, so we want to work on make those better. But the future is a huge question mark, and that's what we learned in the past 3 years. You can't really plan anything, but the attitude is the one that we never want to stop. So always make ourselves better and always see what the future is holding for us. But we're celebrating 1 year at Elbow Drive at the end of the month. So it's actually that's what's coming up. That's what we're sure about the future, is that we're celebrating a first anniversary for sure.
All right, super. Well, that was great. Now you've made me hungry, and I've got to pop over there for some lunch or afternoon delicacies. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
All right, that was Federica Fiorotto, who is marketing manager of Lina's Italian Market. This has been Italian Spotlight with Mario Toneguzzi. Thanks for joining us today.